The following clip that we are about to present is the first appointment between a psychologist and a patient. The patient is grieving the loss of her daughter, and we got the psychologist's inspiration from the Hidden Brain and the Shanagwa Monkey article.
We highlight the importance of rewiring the brain and altering the mind to help improve overall health.
Yes, and the patient is going through depression, melancholy, and illness, and grief, and we will highlight the importance of how talking it out and talking about, for example, the patient will be experiencing nightmares and bad dreams, and I will mention how it's important to talk it all out in order to rewire the brain and help improve those nightmares. Hi Isabel, I'm Dr. Gonzalez. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling okay. I really haven't been feeling like myself lately.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
So I've been having these really weird dreams, and they're mostly about like me falling, like off a cliff or just like into darkness.
Okay.
Just a lot of like dark and eerie rooms or me being alone and stuff like that. So those dreams have been really like keeping me up at night and just like I don't know, I just feel really off.
Okay. Have you lost anybody close to you? A family member, a friend?
I have lost my daughter recently about a few months ago, so that has been hard. I think it's been contributing me to like not feeling myself because I don't really have anybody to be with and I'm just basically alone all the time.
Okay, and you haven't talked to any close family member about this? About the way you've been feeling?
No, I haven't. I've just been trying to figure it out, so that's why I made the appointment today to talk to somebody.
Okay, well, it's good that you came. Usually those dreams that you're having, darkness usually can represent loneliness, which I guess that you started feeling after your daughter passed. And also, like, you have that fear of losing people now because you lost somebody very close to you. And usually there's Freud, he describes the theory of the mind as an iceberg, and usually everything at the tip of the iceberg is like our conscious and what we're aware of, and usually our unconscious, which is our dreams and nightmares that we're having, is usually what we're actually feeling inside.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so everything that you're dreaming is probably everything that you're feeling that you can't say out loud since you really don't have anybody to talk to. And I'm glad that's you came in today to talk about all of this.
Yeah.
And these dreams that you're having doesn't mean something's wrong with you, okay? So you don't have to worry about that. It's just all the emotions that you're keeping bottled up. They're coming into your unconscious mind and they're coming to you while you're sleeping. So that's why you're having all these dreams and nightmares.
Okay, so I'm not losing it then?
No, of course not.
Okay.
You just need a better grieving process, and that's what I'm here for, okay? I would like for you to set up weekly appointments.
Okay.
And I do believe that while we have these appointments together and you're talking about everything out loud, it should help your dreams and those nightmares, and I do believe it will help you stop having them.
Okay. That
So
sounds good.
yes, so I'll see you next week for your appointment and we can continue talking.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
So in the following clip we're about to present, it is a follow-up appointment after 2 to 3 years, and the patient is experiencing aging and dementia, and we would see how the provider is provides more clear listening skills and communications as the patient is going through a hard time with dementia and has often forgotten a lot of stuff at this point. A memory test is provided, and we will also see the provider being more compassionate and having more empathy towards the patient, as well as helping her with all the resources that she needs.
And in this appointment, I am a few years older, so I am like around 63 years old. I'm going through still the grieving process of my daughter, along with trying to navigate on losing stuff and misplacing things like my name, addresses, keys, even forgetting to come to my last few appointments since I couldn't remember on what day they were. And I think the dealing with the loss of my daughter is really affecting my memory, and as well I'm still having those crazy dreams that I've been having before, just with my daughter more in them. That really shows the dementia and aging I'm going through in this appointment.
Hi Isabel, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
I was so shocked to see you in my schedule today. I haven't seen you in about 3 years.
Yeah, I have been going through this problem with forgetting things lately. So after having our appointments for a long time, I begin to forget when we're scheduled for our therapy talk sessions and stuff like that. I would think they were like on a Tuesday, and then the week would pass by, and I just wouldn't remember for the life of me. So yeah, so I really haven't been killing lately.
Okay, so this sounds a bit more serious than your previous appointments. Have you had any of the previous nightmares that you talked about in your last appointments?
So I have been having some weird dreams where my daughter has my name and she's just kind of running and I'm chasing after her. Because sometimes I have been forgetting a lot of stuff lately. Like for example, my keys, like where I left my car in a parking lot, and like little stuff like that. So she'll like run away with my name and I'll just like chase after her and then just wake up. But I've still been having like the other dreams I had before in our appointments previous.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is like these dreams are just you're just scared of like forgetting everything and you're trying hard to remember, but there's times that you can't remember, right? No matter how hard you try.
Yeah, and I just stand there and I'll think and think and think, and usually I have to call somebody and be like, hey, were we talking on the phone? Like, do you remember where I said I was putting my keys or anything? But like, well, what happens when I like forget everything?
We will help you with that. Okay, so I would like to run some simple exams to check your memory. Just a few questions, nothing major, okay? So, what is your date of birth?
It is 08/21/1953.
Okay, thank you. What is your address?
My address is 1416. I think it's like Hackleberry or Heckberry, something like that, Avenue.
Okay, thank you. How many years were you married if you were married?
I believe, I want to say 35 years.
Okay. Did you have any children?
I had one, my daughter.
Okay, what was her name?
Her name was Arlene.
Okay. And you mentioned how you were scared that you forgot everything. And as we go down the road and we'll start having these appointments weekly again, obviously we will have to get more in touch with you to help you remember the date and time and address of our appointments. But also, just because you might feel like you don't value or you'll start feeling more insecure as you start, forgetting more stuff, just remember that nothing is wrong with you. Okay, it happens to everybody as we start aging. It's a normal process now, and then we have all the resources to help you. Okay, so you're never gonna feel lost. You're never gonna feel alone or that you don't have help, because we're always gonna be here with our resources to help you. Okay.
Okay.
So I will see you next Tuesday. We'll start with our Tuesday's appointments again at 3 p.m. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
So in the following clip you're about to see is the patient going more towards the end of her life, and as Tatiana Andia talked about in her article, talking about the end of life is never talked about enough, and you're often left to figure it out on your own, and we do believe it's something that should be talked about more, and that's what we did here in this clip.
So in this clip, I am reaching the last stages of my life, last few years, and I'm going through the confusion of how it would work to be in a nursing home or to have a provider, someone to help me out with my dementia, because I am forgetting things very more often, and my doctor is noticing it as well. So we just kind of go through those steps and what it would be like. So I, as a patient, was feeling like a burden and didn't want to be a burden. And my doctor explained that that is their job and that that's what they're there to do and care for you and help you and support you. And so I was just getting that confirmation of that and throughout this appointment.
Yeah, and the purpose of this clip is to help aim to normalize more the end of life conversations that is often not talked about. Hi Isabel, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Okay, how have you been feeling
So
this past week?
I just don't want to live like this anymore. Like, I've been forgetting everything and I never know where anything is. I just don't feel like myself and I feel way worse than before.
Okay, so I have been noticing your past appointments, you know, your condition and your illness is getting worse, and I'm scared for you. You do live by yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm scared for you to live by yourself, okay? And I do think it's time to provide you with more resources and give you more options as you're advancing into the, you know, eventually the end of your life, you know, these upcoming years. We do have nursing homes. We provide nursing homes, and we have providers that can either like live with you or stay with you overnight. And we do have a few of those options. What do you think about that? How do you feel about them?
Well, a nursing home, like, aren't they just very sad and like kind of forced to be there alone? Like, I feel like I don't want to be a burden and I like don't even like I'm struggling now, you know? Like, do you think that would be worse?
I do think a nursing home is the best option because you will be how it works is you'll have your own room, your own bedroom, and obviously a lot of nurses are there to help you if you ever need help with anything. And besides that, there's also, you know, the other adults in the nursing home, and you can make friends, you can talk to each other. It's kind of more like you're living together with them, you know, you get to see them on a daily basis, like converse with them. You're never gonna feel lonely, ever. And you're not going to be a burden because that's what the nurses are there for, and the doctors, they're there because they care about you, they feel for you, and they're there to take care of you. And not just living there, you will also get treated there, so you won't have to go out, like leave and have to go like drive to doctor's appointments and drive over here and drive to the grocery store and do pick up your prescriptions. Like, they'll do everything for you.
Okay, so that might be a better option. And you also talked about home providers that work in the same way.
Yes, so those, you'll still be living in your home, and there's like different shifts. So you just want one for daytime, like a daytime provider, they would just be with you at daytime. If you want like a nighttime one, they'll be with you at night. So if you ever need help like getting up to go to the bathroom, or you're scared you're gonna fall at night, they can be there, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And they'll kind of be like your best friend, and that way you're gonna be all day with them. And they'll help you with everything. They'll drive you to the grocery store, drive you over here to the doctors, drive you to pick up your prescriptions, and they'll help you with everything, really.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a better plan because I do feel like I'm slowly losing myself more and more, and I just don't want to be, you know, like this anymore.
Yeah, it's very hard once we get closer to the end of our life, you know, and it's hard to accept it that we're coming to it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's better to accept it than to just avoid it, you know? And that's what I'm here for. I'll help you with everything, you know? And it is a hard time, and we like to make our patients, our elderly patients, make them feel the most comfortable they can be.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you so much, and thank you for our past appointments as well.
Of course. I hope to see you soon.
Yes.
Bye. Okay, so for our conclusion for our video, for our first appointment, our patient was going through depression, grieving, and the beginning of her illness, which was dementia. And as we moved along into the second video, we saw that it was far more advanced. And at that point, our patient is about 63 years old, and we had to start speaking to her with more compassion and more empathy, since she was already advanced into her illness. And that's usually the big lesson. Once you start talking to elderly people, you have to have more clear communication with them, since they do tend to get mixed up, and you have to reassure them about a lot of stuff, as well as be more compassionate and empathetic with them. And then the third appointment was deciding and talking about end of life care and options. We talked about nursing homes and home providers, and how often these are hard conversations to have because most people don't want to admit that they're getting to the end of their life stages, but it's also an important conversation to have because they're at a stage in their life where they're very fragile and sometimes very weak, and they need that support with them.
So this is the end of our video. We hope you guys liked it and learned something today. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.